When my dad was hitching along Old Route 66 in 1941, he never personally experienced the storied stretch of road over La Bajada Mesa because it had been bypassed by then. But he got told stories about it that he never forgot. Here is one of them.
South from good old Santa Fe, there was a stretch of hellish road, about a mile and another half, marked by a skull and some crossbones. La Bajada Mesa in the Spanish tongue dropped for some 800 feet, with 27 mean switchbacks to make the terror quite complete. Joshua sang a morning tune in an ancient flatbed truck. Between its first and second gears, its transmission would get stuck. Tied up to the cabin back was a billy goat named Juan. His coat was 7 shades of brown. His curved horns were sharp and long, 200 yards and heading down. The master cylinder blew right up. The brakes were gone quick as a wink, and Joshua's song came to a stop. But Juan, stout Billy that he was, just kept on dreaming goatish things of tupping doughs and chewing weeds, and mostly clover in the spring. La Bajada, 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 La Bajada. As Joshua stared straight into doom, he thought of things that he'd most missed. His Pennsylvanian grandma's pies, green currant and apple snits, 7 sweets and 7 spices would her dining table grace. And if she'd happen to miss one, a blush would burn up on her face. But Juan, quite used to climbing trees and scrabbling fast down real steep rocks, was basking in bright morning sun, no trepidation in his thoughts. He stood there still as still could be, as that flatbed bucked and swayed, sparks screaming from its inner edge, as cliffside bits of sandstone sprayed. Then Joshua's front wheel blew right off, and hot rubber sliced and raked his ear. The rear end flipped half o'er the drop, and half its load was no longer there. But that old rusty flatbed truck had ended up all safe and sound. And even though he'd pissed his pants, Joshua bent down and kissed the ground. La Bajada, 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 La Bajada. But Juan looked up and all around, wondering just how and why they'd stopped. La Bajada was nothing to a goat who'd scampered wildly on cliff tops. And Joshua, he just shook his head, saying, Juanito, you plumb loco goat, you've got big balls and a mighty heart, and more good luck to bring, I hope. Now that hellish road, it is no more. Its glory days long in the past. Its switchbacks taken gentler turns, eroded into weed-cloaked paths. But if you stand there by that place, and the breeze plays a certain note, your ears will prick up when you hear the deathless voice of one brave goat. La Bajada, La Bajada, La Bajada, La Bajada, La Bajada.